You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, we're giving you the Michigan Sports Truth, the show that reveals facts, truth, research, and statistics and never messes around. We lay down the entire truth about everything regarding your Detroit and Michigan sports teams, no matter if it's good or bad. No junk, no entertainment, no homerism, no coddling, no pop culture, no opinions, no shilling, and no fluff. Head over to our website at MichiganSportsTruth.com, follow us on Twitter at Michigan_Truth, and like our Facebook page, The Michigan Sports Truth. The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
And this is a post-game edition for April 27th, 2018. It's 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Taylor Phillips, along with Louis Tenore. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. Louis, how are we doing tonight? How are we doing tonight?
Okay, we're good.
Good. So the Tigers get blanked by the Baltimore Orioles, 6-0. The Orioles last place in the AL East, 7-19. The Tigers dropped to 10-14. Still second place in the AL Comedy Central. Both the Tigers and Twins are 4 games back of the Cleveland Indians for that AL Central lead. Minnesota's 8-12. The Tigers have a winning percentage of .417. The Twins 400. That's why the Tigers hold the tiebreakers second place. Twins right now trailing the Cincinnati Reds 11-8 at Target Field. Top 8, 1 out, bases empty. Cleveland Indians hang on to beat the Seattle Mariners 6-5 at Progressive Field. Improved to 14-10. The White Sox and Royals are tied at 4. Top 11, a man on first and 1 out. White Sox 6-16. The Royals 5-18. The worst record in the AL. Second worst to the Cincinnati Reds, who are 5-20. Record winning percentage of exactly .200. But back to the Tigers-Orioles game. Chris Tillman pitched 7 innings of shutout baseball. Only gave up 1 hit. Tigers wound up with only 2 hits against an awful team in the Baltimore Orioles. 2 hits against a team that is now 7-19, still in last place in the AL East. Mike Fiers, 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Johnny Barbado, in relief, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 innings pitched. Gave up a home run as well. Fiers gave up 2 home runs. First one to Manny Machado. Pedro Alvarez hit 2 home runs, including a 2-run jack in the bottom of the 7th, scoring Danny Valencia. Manny Machado also had an RBI single to finish his 2 RBI night. Tigers and Orioles at 7:05 Eastern Time tomorrow night. The Detroit Lions have selected running back Kerryon Johnson from Auburn at 43rd overall in a trade with the New England Patriots. and he's graded by Bleacher Report analyst a mid-range A, because he can run like Le'Veon Bell. He's got so many weapons. He can make moves and he can really run. He's got a lot of speed. They also have picked up safety Tracy Walker from Louisiana-Lafayette at 82. The Detroit Free Press sports Twitter handle at Free Sports wanted the Lions to get Mo Hurst from Michigan. That's an asinine take. They needed actually a defensive back, and they got one. Not exactly sure what the grade is for Tracy Walker, but I'm pretty sure Bob Quinn did a hell of a job. So other draft picks from college teams from the state of Michigan: Western Michigan offensive tackle Okorafor goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 92. And Michigan center Mason Cole gets drafted by the Arizona Cardinals at 97. Overall, Maurice Hurst is still not drafted yet. Pittsburgh Steelers chucks Okorafor from Western Michigan, offensive tackle, and Mason Cole, center Michigan, drafted by the Arizona Cardinals. So that's our draft report thus far. So, speaking of which, Michigan Wolverines football quarterback Shea Patterson is now granted to play this year, which is inevitable. We saw the news yesterday that he was granted eligibility to play by the NCAA. Ed Smith and I talked about it last week here on Spreaker, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. And we didn't have a problem with it. So, Kerryon Johnson calls it a dream come true to play for the same franchise as Barry Sanders. You bet it is. Even though he never won a Super Bowl with those guys, because they never won a Super Bowl. The last time they've won an NFL championship was back in 1957. So, that's all the topics for tonight. Now it's time for Louis Tenore's National Sports Report, the first one ever on Spreaker. Louis, take it away.
You got it. Thanks. All right, now away we go. In the top of the sixth right now, the Yankees and the Angels are tied at one apiece. No one on, no one out. There's one strike right now. Henry is pitching, and Gregorius is at bat. Gregorius. In the bottom of the eighth, the Reds are leading the Twins now 11-8. Runner on, when there's one out, nobody on. Hughes is pitching in. Bauer is at bat. Well played, Bauer. Top of the 11th, White Sox have now taken a 7-4 lead over the Royals. There's a runner on second and 2 out. Hill is pitching, and Garcia is now at bat. Bottom of the 6th, the Mets have taken a 1-0 lead over the Padres. 1 out, nobody on. DeGrom is pitching in. Hosmer is at bat. Top of the 5th, the Dodgers are leading the Giants now 4-2 with the runner on first and nobody out. Johnson is pitching in. Guardiol is at bat. One final happened earlier this afternoon. The Cubs over the Brewers 3-2. Droop got the win, Jennings got the loss, and Morrow got the save. The Orioles blanked the Tigers 6-0. Tillman got the win, and Byers got the loss. Diamondbacks edged the Nationals 5-4. Greffley got the win, Strasburg got the loss, and Baumgartner got the save. In the final, in the 11th inning, the Pirates over the Cardinals 6-5. Cantos got the win, and Hicks got the loss. Phillies over the Braves 7-3. Nola got the win, and Fried got the loss. Rangers over the Blue Jays 6-4. Minor got the win, Stroman got the loss, and Kila got the save. Tampa Bay over the Red Sox 4-3. Sneal got the win, Pomeranz got the loss, and Colon got the save. Anytime the Red Sox lose, that's good for me. Indians edge the Mariners 6-5. Kluber got the win, and Ramirez got the loss. The Rockies edge the Marlins in a good old-fashioned picture stool, 1-0. Cincinnati got the win, Urania got the loss, and Davis got the save. And finally, the Athletics over the Astros 8-1. Mania got the save, and Kirksnell got the loss. All right, so now I'm taking care of the scores for right now. Well, let's take a look at the standings. As we're now 1 month into the season. How do you like that? All right, and your standings go like this. We'll start off in the American League East, as we usually do, and it goes like this. Well, despite the loss, unfortunately, the Red Sox still have the lead at 19-6 and have a 3.5 game lead over the Yankees at 15-9. It's early still, folks. Blue Jays are 5 back at 14-11. The Rays are 11-13, 7.5 back, and the Baltimore Orioles are a sinking ship at 7-19, 12.5 back. My goodness. Russell was right. Central, Indians are 14-10, have a 4-game lead over the Tigers at 10-14. The Twins are also 4 back, but they are 8-12. White Sox are 6-16, 7 back, and the Royals are 5-18 at 8.5 back. In the West, the Angels are 16-9, and it's kind of like a virtual tie with them with the Astros, who are 17-10. The Mariners are 2 back at 14-11. Athletics are 14-12, 2.5 back, and at 7 back are the Rangers at 10-17. All right, and the National League East, once again, also a virtual tie. The Mets are 15-8, and the Phillies are 16-9. It's probably just by percentage points. Braves are hanging around at 14-11, 2 back. Nationals, 11-15, 5.5 back. And the Marlins, 7-18, 9 back. It looks to be another losing season for the Fish. In the Central Division, the Cardinals are 15-10. The Brewers are 16-11. Boy, this is really getting tight. And the Pirates are only a half game out at 15-11. 1 back are the Cubs at 13-10, and the Reds are at 5-20 and are already 10 games out. They might be mathematically eliminated by the 4th of July. Anywho, the West, the D-backs are 18-7, have a 4-game lead with the Rockies at 15-12. The Dodgers are 11-12, 6-back. At 6.5 back are the Giants, 11-13, and the Padres are 9-17, 9.5 back. West Coast, of course, pending outcome of those games later tonight. All right, so now I'm taking care of that. Let's take a look at tomorrow's schedule, as of course there's a lot of day games on Saturday. And we lead off as follows. Beginning with a 2:10 game with the Reds versus the Twins at 2:10. 2:15, the White Sox take on the Royals. 2:20, the Brewers take on the Cubs. 4:05 games, there's a lot of them. D-backs versus Nationals. The Rays take on the Red Sox. Dodgers take on the Giants. 4:07, Rangers take on the Blue Jays. 4:10, the Mariners take on the Indians. At 6:05, the Braves take on the Phillies. 7:05 games, Tigers take on the Orioles. The Cardinals take on the Pirates. The Athletics take on after that 7:10. Also 7:10, the Rockies take on the Marlins. Later games, 8:15, the White Sox take on the Royals. The Mets take on the Padres at 8:40. Yankees take on the Angels at 9:07. And the Dodgers take on the Giants at 10:05. And right now, just a little on the Yankee game here. It's runners on second and third in the top of the sixth with 1 out. So this could be changing very rapidly, I hope. All right, so why don't we go down to the ice? Only one game on the ice as we start the second round here in the playoffs. And the Jets take care of the Predators 4-1. Lead out a 1-0 lead in the series. Game 2 is to be on Sunday. Right, so now we'll go to the NBA, as there were 3 games tonight in the first round here. This is going to be wrapping up shortly. And the scores go like this. Let's try it again. All right, the Pacers have evened up the series with the Cleveland Cavaliers, score 121-87. And now the series is all tied at 3. That means Game 7, winner take all, will be on Sunday afternoon. Right now at the half, the Jazz are leading the Thunder. No, it's a tie, 41-41 at the half. Wow, low scoring. Westbrook has 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Rudy Gobert, 8 rebounds and 6 points. The Raptors over the Wizards, 102-92, and have taken that series now 4-2. Kyle Lowry, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Bradley Beal, 32 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. In that Cavaliers-Pacers game, LeBron James had 22 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Victor Oladipo had 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists. Ooh, a triple-double. Nice. And that's it. Tomorrow's games will go as follows. As I believe there's only 2 games tomorrow. And they are the Bucks taking on Boston, the Celtics. That's at 8 o'clock on TNT. Immediately followed by the Pelicans and the Golden State Warriors, 10:30 on TNT. Incidentally, in the NHL, tomorrow's games are both on NBC. I want to take care of that. The Penguins will take on the Lightning at 3, and the Sharks will take on the Golden Knights at 8. I think it's going to be some series. All right. So, I just want to take care of the thing here is it's MLS soccer. I know you're thinking, did you soccer now too? Yes, I do. And it's Vancouver versus Salt Lake. Last we checked, it was nothing but a goose egg, and it still is 54 minutes in the second half. In other words, I like to call it a great big something. All right, but of course, the Saturday games are much more appealing as there's a bigger schedule. So I'm going to run them down if I can. Thanks to the computer here, or maybe I'll just. Yeah, I think we'll come back down. We'll get to the important news now first. So anyway, there was a big. We had a big mess at the Sharks at the forward. Evander Kane received a 1-game suspension for cross-checking Knights forward Pierre Bellemare last night in Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals. Kane struck Bellemare in the arm and then in the head after a whistle late in the third period in a good old-fashioned 7-0 thrashing. He was given a 5-minute major as well as a game misconduct. So that could be damaging right there. The Cleveland Browns select running back Nick Chubb as the 35th overall pick in the draft. It was the Browns' second pick in the second round. The pick was announced by legend Jim Brown, the franchise's all-time leading rusher. Chubb started in the backfield for Georgia, rushing 1,345 yards and 15 touchdowns last season. In his 4 seasons at Georgia, he rushed for 4,769 yards, second SEC history, and 44 touchdowns. He also had 31 receptions and 4 touchdown catches. This kid might be good. Local interest to you, I would think. Michigan quarterback Shea Patterson will be eligible to play next season. The NCAA decided to waive in his case. It's the normal rule that requires non-graduate transfers to sit out a year before returning to the playing field. Michigan and Ole Miss made the announcement earlier today that both of the athletic departments worked together to create a waiver request that both schools agreed was accurate, and one took advantage of the recently adopted NCAA rules to allow Pearson to return to the field next fall. All right. Washington Wizards get a bad break as forward Otto Porter Jr. Will miss the rest of the first round series against the Raptors. Now that series is over, so that's irrelevant. This was due to a leg injury. Porter underwent a minor procedure on his left leg today to address swelling in the area of a bruise. The team announced that today, and he did not play in Game 6 tonight, and there is no Game 7, so the series is now over. He had been questionable with his contusion to his lower leg prior to the procedure. Head coach Scott Brooks, the Porter was banged up as he came into the series hobbling already as he was heading into Game 6. Kelly Oubre Jr. likely was going to take his spot. Unfortunately now, that series is over. All right, the 49ers traded their offensive tackle Trent Brown and the 131st overall draft selection to the Patriots in exchange for the 95th overall selection. According to league sources, Brown was coming off season-ending shoulder surgery, flew to Foxborough on Thursday to undergo a physical today, where he is regarded as one of the league's top blocking offensive contract expires at the end of the season, and the 49ers were looking for a more physical run-blocking tackle, which is why Brown became expandable in San Francisco on Thursday night. The 49ers used the 9th draft pick in the 2018 draft on Notre Dame offensive tackle Mike McKinley, who is expected to take over at the right tackle position. So good luck with that one. Dallas Cowboys tight end Jason Witten is on the brink of retirement after playing 15 seasons in the NFL. Maybe looking to join ESPN as an analyst for Monday Night Football. League and team sources told ESPN today Witten had a meeting scheduled with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones on informing him on the decision. The sources say, according to the sources, two sources said Witten's plans won't be final until he receives Jones's blessing. Oh, great. And one source allowed that Witten could have a last-minute change of heart. A team source, the Cowboys, that's claimed the team source, Cowboys were aware of the possibility, but Witten was not making a final decision until he meets with Jones. Either Jones or Witten were available for immediate comment. ESPN declined comment and had no announcement to reveal its Monday Night broadcast team. Witten will leave the Cowboys as the all-time franchise leader in terms of games, which is 239, pass receptions 1,152, receiving yards 12,448. Not too shabby there. And making the Pro Bowl 11 times. That's something to sneeze at. Memphis Grizzlies have reached an agreement with J.B. Bickerstaff on a 3-year deal to become the franchise's next head coach. League sources told ESPN Bickerstaff, who coached for the majority of the season, 63 games, as the Grizzlies intern coach, where he was often limited personnel. Despite that, he replaced David Fisdale, who was fired on November 27th after a miserable 7-12 start. Despite a 15-48 record, Bickerstaff made a strong impression on management and with the organization to become the full-time coach of the team. Bickerstaff was without one of the league's top point guards, Mike Conley, for most of the season. Memphis had a chance at a top 3 draft pick in June and could reboot quickly to return to the playoff picture. Maybe not next season, but maybe the season after that. Who knows? Bickerstaff replaced Kevin McHale in 2015, completing that season with a 37-34 record and reaching the playoffs as the interim coach. Bickerstaff was an assistant coach for 11 seasons before taking on the interim role with the Rockets, which includes stops in Charlotte, Memphis, Minnesota, and Houston. He was a successful NBA coach and executive. I think I remember that. Man, I am getting old. Ugh. All right, I have a little bit more information. The Pittsburgh Steelers trade wide receiver Latavius Bryant to the Oakland Raiders last night for a 3rd-round draft selection. The talented but troubled Bryant had asked to be traded out of Pittsburgh last September, and Raiders general manager Reggie McKenzie said last night that Oakland has been on this for a while. When asked about the deal, Bryant told ESPN's Jeremy Fowler that he was happy when he heard the news, calling the trade a blessing. I appreciate everything the team has done, he said, trying to move on and try to contribute the best way I can. The Steelers received the 79th overall pick with the Raiders received earlier last night when they traded down to the 1st round, allowing the Cardinals to select quarterback Josh Rosen in the number 10 spot. And speaking of that, first up. The longer Josh Rosen waited outside the green room inside the AT&T Stadium last night, the more ticked off and motivated he became. After being selected by the Arizona Cardinals with the 10th overall pick in last night's draft, Rosen told reporters that he was ticked off and very angry that he was placed outside the top 3. There were 9 mistakes ahead of me, Rosen said. But when the Cardinals finally selected him after trading 3 of the picks to the Oakland Raiders to move up and snag the former UCLA quarterback, Rosen was inspired, yet unhappy at the same time. Must be a split personality. I thought I should have been selected somewhere in the top 3. Rosen said, I dropped, and I was pissed and really very angry. I was not really showing it. I was trying to keep calm, cool, and composed, etc. But I thought I was going to get picked, and I thought I was going to have to put on a face to try and fake the happiness. But for some reason, right when I got the call, that's not what happened. I became happy as well as motivated. So, you gotta just take, the good with the bad. That's the way I got with that. Alright. So, why don't we just go over some of the drafts that have happened in the last day and a half now. Starting with number 1. Well, it didn't come as much surprise to me, of course, as the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
You know how I feel about Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns something like the Baker Mayfield. No surprise there. I mean, the Jets thought they were going to get him, but actually, I think rumors with information leaked out even before the telecast began on Thursday night that the Browns had already going to receive Mayfield. So that's a little bit of controversy on that. The second pick was Saquon Barkley going to the Giants from Penn State. No surprise there. The disappointment, Sam Darnold goes to the Jets. He's from USC, and I thought I heard a shoe drop when I heard that report last night.
The butt fumble, as urinating tree would put it.
Right, I know. Will the USC curse continue? We'll find out. Fourth pick was Denzel Ward. Just a joke. He is from Ohio State. The fifth pick is from Denver, Bradley Chubb from North Carolina State. The number 6 pick for the Texans was Quentin Nelson. He is from Notre Dame, and he's a quarterback. Number 7 goes to Josh Allen from Wyoming, also a quarterback. Number 8 pick was Roquan Smith from Georgia. He is an offensive linebacker. 49ers take Mike Kitchney from Notre Dame, an offensive tackle. Josh Rosen from UCLA, he is going to the Cardinals. He is in the quarterback position. Dolphins get Fitzpatrick from Alabama. He, I believe, was a safety. Vita Vey from Washington. He is a defensive tackle. That, I believe, is going to the Buccaneers. Deron Payne from the Kansas City Chiefs is from Alabama. He is a defensive tackle. He is number 13. Marcus Davenport, I believe, is going to the Saints. He is the 14th pick. He is from San Antonio as a defensive end. Raiders take number 15, Colton Miller from UCLA, an offensive tackle. I believe this is the Bills' Tamarine Edwards from Virginia Tech. He is an offensive linebacker. Chargers take Devlin James from Florida State, a safety. Packers take Jari Alexander from Louisville as a cornerback. I cornerback, not quarterback.
Right.
Sometimes we can get that confused.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas takes Leighton Vander Esch from Boise State. He is I believe it is a running back. The Bengals select Billy Pierce from Ohio State. He is a center. Oh, the Lions pick Frank Langau from Arkansas
Awesome
as a
pick.
center.
Awesome pick. Got to protect Matthew Stafford and the running backs, including LeGarrette Blount, Amir Abdullah, Dwayne Washington, etc.
Yes. Ravens take Rashawn Reeves from Alabama. He is a running back. Oh, no, wait. Oh, boy. Patriots take Isaiah Wynn from Georgia, an offensive tackle. DJ Moore from Maryland, a wide receiver. I believe it's the Carolina Panthers. And 25th was Hayden Hurst from South Carolina, a tight end. Calvin Ridley from Alabama, 26th pick. He is a wide receiver. Richard Penny from San Diego State, 27th pick. He is a running back. 28th, the Steelers take Terrell Edmonds from Virginia Tech. He is a safety. Panthers take Tavon Ryan from Florida. He is a defensive tackle. The Vikings take Mike Hughes from University of Central Florida in the quarterback position. And some say, of course, that that team should have been vying for a national championship. Of course. Patriots select Sony Mitchell from Georgia. He is a running back. And Lamar Jackson from Louisville, number 32 pick from the quarterback position. I mean, they were making a real fuss about him. And I think some say he might be the real deal, but we'll see. Anything sounds good on paper, but when you get right down to it, you have to see how he really does on the field. Because as I've often said, what looks good on paper doesn't always translate onto the field. As most of you know that. So anyway, just a quick check of anything else that I have missed. All right. Just a quick check here to see with MLS. Yeah, the Whitecaps and Salt Lake are still scoreless, so now going to the 72nd minute. You get a lot of those games like that, but you also get some games that do have a high scoring from time to time, if you can believe that. All right. So now we'll just check one thing here. Oh, here we go. And your Major League Soccer games for tomorrow are going to be like this. On second thought, that site doesn't seem to be working, so I'll just check the last of the baseball scores right now. As we're now in the Yankees now take a 2-1 lead over the Angels in the bottom of the seventh with a runner on first and one out. Serviano is pitching and Big Al, Albert Pujols, is up. Okay. Bottom nine, it looks like a win for the Reds over the Twins, 15-9. Runners on first and second and one out. Iglesias is pitching and Grossman is at bat. I'd probably say that the Reds would get the win here, unless the Twins get a miracle.
Oh, boy, that's not good news. The Tigers would stay in second place in the AL Comedy Central.
Yeah.
That's not good for the tanking against Chris Ilitch.
This one now is a final. The White Sox beat the Royals in 11 innings, 7-4.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That could help.
Yeah, I knew you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite got the win. Hill got the loss, and Soriano got the save. Top of the 8th, the Mets over the Padres now 4-0. They're just beginning the top of the 8th, I should say. By the way, there was sarcasm about the Mets part. The Dodgers now lead the Giants 4-2 as we head down to the bottom of the 6th. Harry, McCutchen, and Posey are coming out the bat. And all the rest are now a final. Yes, all the rest are final. And everything will be ready for June. And it's now first and second with the Yankees. And I think they can get a win here. Well, at least I certainly hope so. One more note on the basketball front, as we have one game going on right now. And that would be, of course, is now with 6:54 to go in the third. It keeps changing. The Jazz now lead the Thunder 57-50. Adams has 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Donovan Mitchell, 22 points, 1 rebound, and 1 steal. And if he doesn't get Rookie of the Year, I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a major uproar. Because what he has done this season for the league has just been absolutely amazing. He's done, like this, for instance, Stockton with the Jazz, and he was before, ever since he left, retired, I should say, that they have not been the same team. But Mitchell has shown great promise for the Jazz, and is keeping this team's postseason hopes alive. So I certainly wish him well. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Because some saying that Simmons might get Rookie of the Year, but I don't think he should be eligible, to be honest, because technically he is not a rookie. He didn't play a game in his first year, but remember, if he would have not gotten hurt, that would have counted towards his first year. And it's just, I think he'll be getting a bum rap.
Exactly.
If Mitchell did not get Rookie of the Year, I think he'd be getting a bum rap.
Mm-hmm.
Or so to say. I got some MLS standings though here. I'll go over this rather quickly. The New York FC, 5 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. Yuck. Atlanta is 5-1-1. Orlando is 4-1-2. The Revolution is 3 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. Columbus is 3 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. I think I should put it in the other way. The Red Bulls are 3 wins, no draws, and 3 losses. But still, it's reasonable. Chicago, 2 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. Montreal, 2 wins, no draws, and 5 losses. DC United, 1 win, 2 draws, and 3 losses. Philadelphia, also 1 win, 2 draws, and 3 losses. And the Toronto FC, 1 win, no draws, and 4 losses. Why don't they do a win-loss-draw, not win-draw-loss? Make it a lot easier, wouldn't you think? Gee. Western Conference, Kansas City is 5 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. Los Angeles Football Club is 4 wins, no draws, and 2 losses. Dallas, 3 wins, 3 draws, and no losses. Galaxy is 3 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. Salt Lake, 3 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. Vancouver, 3 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. Houston, we have a problem. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. Colorado, also 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. It's a pattern here.
Tie.
Portland, 2 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. Minnesota, 2 wins, no draws, but 5 losses. San Jose, 1 win, 2 draws, and 3 losses. And Seattle, 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses. Yeah, they don't seem to make it easier. They go win, draw, loss, not Not that I have anything against it, but, I think they should try to develop more of an American system. All right, so I'm going to end it there, and I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, that's going to do it for the postgame edition on April 27th, 2018. Wanted everyone to share this podcast on Facebook and Twitter. Follow the Michigan Sports Truth on Twitter at Michigan_Truth and like its Facebook page, the Michigan Sports Truth. For Louis Tenore, I'm Taylor Phillips. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Bon appétit.
The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
Transmission complete.